In President Obama's housing plan, the government plans to spend $75 billion smackers in subsidies aimed at getting lenders to reduce payments for at-risk homeowners, at least some of them. In today's Call to the Wild, we ask, should taxpayers foot the bill for bad mortgages? Well, let's bring in Steve Liesman and Rick Santelli. Oh, my gosh. Rick Santelli, most people, 92%, are paying their mortgages on time. They're good Americans. They're responsible. They believe in personal accountability. And by the way, they like their house. So why do we have to go through this rigmarole? $75 billion, not to, by the way, speak of the $200 billion we're going to pour into Fannie and Freddie. Why, Rick? Why?
Well, listen, Larry, let's even move beyond that. Let's give the president-elect a buy on this one and say, listen, we understand that we need to do something. But I guess my argument is, along with a lot of my associates on the floor, is we know what loan modifications are. Why don't we do modifications for who we want to give the freebies to? You know, whether it's young people who are mired in student loans or buying cars, as the Journal pointed out, and giving it to more appropriate people. I know this might not sound very humanitarian, but at the end of the day, I'm an Ayn Rander. It's all about efficiency. If you want the economy to work, maybe we should give these perks to people who will carry some water down the road. And once again, people on the floor, they don't necessarily have a problem helping their... Hold on a minute. Is there anybody here? We've done this before, but you guys work pretty hard. Do you want to give your money to somebody who hasn't shown responsibility, or would you rather help somebody that maybe could bring some GDP down the road when the stimulus ends? What do you guys think? Okay. Raise your hand if you'd rather help a young person or a young couple or somebody who hasn't proven financial discipline.
Let's vote on it.
I mean, it's pretty much everywhere you look. This morning, the markets weren't open. They were more attuned. But that's the argument and the discussions in Chicago.
I'm raising my hand here. Steve Liesman, what about this idea? Maybe we should have welfare mentoring. That is to say, a homeowner who's paying on time will just walk the $1,000 check down.
Your mortgage buddy.
Yes, your mortgage buddy. You can have a sponsor. We can put them in 12-step programs, and they can learn personal responsibility, and it'll all be done in the private sector.
Well, Larry, there is an actual counseling part of this program, by the way, if you have very high loan-to-values. The trouble I have with my friend Rick, not only that he has 7 thugs there in Chicago who are his who are backing him up.
Hey, guys, now you guys are 7 thugs. Open this up a little bit. How about 7,000? Who on this floor...
If you ask the question, Rick,
mortgages for people that don't deserve it, raise your hand.
Rick, if you ask the question, Rick.
Come on, seriously, open that camera up. Okay?
Rick, if you ask the question that way, of course you get that answer.
Okay, this isn't 7
But here's the point.
Chicago,
Rick, no, seriously, shut up for a second, Rick.
Steve, make your
Rick,
point.
here's the point. The point is, if you ask the question, should we subsidize taxpayers subsidize people who took bad mortgages? Yeah. Answer's going to be no. Should we sit by and do nothing, essentially the way we've been doing, watch the market melt down, seize up, make it difficult for people?
Let me finish,
because
Rick. Of what they're doing.
No, that's wrong, Rick. Rick, the market, listen to me on this, Rick, everybody.
Look at the chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average against stimulus voting.
Rick, the market all by itself created a completely dysfunctional securitization system that makes it impossible for the market by itself, Rick, to work. If you want to scream over each other, that's going to be wonderful.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
What's the point?
I mean, ask a question.
Washington
it's completely,
over the years let the over-the-counter market run
The market
roughshod.
cannot find its way out of this paper bag, Rick, because the different interests in the tranches of the securitization, the different interests of the servicer and the borrower, it needs assistance. The previous administration tried this, Larry, a voluntary program. It went nowhere.
By the way, a lot of this...
You want to sit by and let this problem fester?
Let me respond.
Be my guest.
Let me respond. I want
Be my guest.
I think that blaming the markets for this is extremely, extremely bad analysis. But I want to raise a point.
Larry, why is that wrong? Tell me why that's wrong.
Because I'm about to show you why markets are working. Rick Santelli, listen to this. Off of Mark Perry's Carpe Diem blog site. Perry's a Michigan University
I know what you're going to show me, Larry.
Now listen to this. California home sales have doubled while prices have plunged. Markets work. And I want to read another thing.
It doesn't work out the problem,
listen to this.
Bad mortgage.
Listen to this.
Why does it not work out the problem?
Inventories have crashed. The inventory problem, according to the California Realtors in 2008, has come down substantially, and the selling time for home sales has shrunk. In other words, free markets will solve this problem in ways that this mortgage subsidy will not. That's my point. There are states where you can actually see market progress. Those are facts.
These are foreclosure sales, Larry. That's the problem.
Yes,
you get
including foreclosures,
and do
but
you
everything.
Want, is that what you want? You want people's homes to correct on the downside.
Yes, because you know what, Steve? We're going to pay for it. We're going to pay for it either way. We're either going to pay for it with our tax dollars by refinancing these mortgages or reworking them or whatever, or we're going to pay for it because our own homes are going to be worth so much less.
There was a saying in Russia, Melissa, that the solution to you having one cow and your neighbor having two cows is to kill your neighbor's second cow. That's what you guys are proposing here.
No,
I should sit down,
what
sit
we're
by
proposing
while
is
my neighbor's house is foreclosed upon.
That in America, the government shouldn't take your hard sweat in the form of acknowledge charity and give your money away. It's up to Americans to decide.
Rick, this has been your argument from day one.
Let me tell you something else, Mr. Liesman.
Now, let me tell you something.
You're talking about the markets. It's my
race
turn.
to the bottom. Let's race to the bottom.
All this government rigmarole is going to postpone
the market made its own mistake here, guys.
Okay. Nobody believes that this is going to have much impact on prices. This is about redistributionism. That's really
no, it's
what
not. It's about
Larry, I have to get one point in. There's two markets. There's the unregulated markets that Washington let run roughshod because they loved the way it was producing revenue.
Not enough government regulation.
There's a regulated market that has not had a problem.
Thanks, guys.
So fair markets,
Rick,
free
Steve,
markets.
Bye.